Start the record as always. Everything's fine. All right, thanks to you guys for joining us. We have a lot of viewers actually today, peaking at about 7,000. Right now, just a little bit less. So thanks to everybody who tuned in. I hope you enjoyed the games. This is only our fourth match of the day. We're going to have 10 best of threes in total with this group C and D. And would you like to do the introductions, Pew? I know you love
I would love. Yeah, I know, you just passing them on to me. You're just like, yeah, it's good. All right, so here we are, guys. It's game number 1. The map is going to be, of course, Heavy Rain LE, spawning down here at the 5 o'clock position, playing as the Orange Protoss. This is, of course, Evil Genius's HuK. And his opponent spawning all the way at the 11 o'clock position. Recently getting a visa to stay in the Americas. It is, of course, viOlet as the red Zerg. And he is currently teamless, right? He hasn't actually been offered anything directly.
I believe he is. I like this pylon placement, by the way, on this map. This is about the same one as I use. I don't know where else you can place it, really. It's
actually, I put mine there.
It's such a different map than other maps, as in, like, you have the gases on the side and, like, where... Yeah, it's not really comparable to anything else. Maybe old Chakras or something, but even that.
Maybe. There has been similar-ish maps, like there's a lot of little things I find very interesting about the map. Of course, you have the center pathway that goes all the way through the top, but it's on the low ground, so you're at a massive disadvantage if you try to fight there, especially into any of the chokes. And then there are a lot of chokes, force fields, and stuff like that, and there's a lot of backway paths. So
yes.
I can imagine Zerglin run-bys or Zerglin surrounds from all directions are going to be very powerful on a map like this. And of course,
the replays for this tournament should be released, but not immediately. I think between 2 weeks and a month from now. I will post the pack.
Yeah, just so their builds are a bit. Yeah. Superb. And yeah, so of course it is. Was that a pool or no? It was a hatchery first into a pool and a forge. Oh wait, is he gonna? Oh,
yeah, I think he wants to cannon, and he's not even making a zealot here. He hasn't been scouted. Now the second probe is moving out, so Violet's gonna be able to spot that as it leaves the base, and he knows, he directly knows. Having seen the second probe, there is no doubt in his mind that it's going to be a cannon rush. The thing is, HuK has spent a lot of money in one gateway, which is going to be useless for this. His forge was late, so this is going to start very late. His first probe has taken a lot of damage already. Violet is careful here. This shouldn't do too much. Oh, the probe dies! And no cannon has started.
Oh god,
so as much as this, maybe HuK should abort here.
Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. There are still, 9 drones on here, so that is a lot of damage. And
this is not gonna work.
There's the insta-cancel as the probe does get picked off, so...
The drones, they already have minerals in their hands, man.
Yeah. And he pretty much, allowed Violet to saturate his natural faster by putting the drones down to stop that, so... Yeah, that's all good. Work account's pretty much even, and of course the natural does start as, the hatchery finishes up, so a little bit of a loss there for HuK, and he will lose this pylon, which, some extra resources lost.
Wow, right, so double gas. I'm really surprised that went this way and HuK committed so much to it. At first, I mean. Like, he aborted when there was no choice, but the second wave of, like, cannon, with the one cannon that he threw down, that was really... It was obvious it wasn't going to work. This map is actually pretty hard to cannon. Look at all the space beyond the middle line. If lots of drones are pulled, there's almost no chance it's ever going to work.
I can imagine you might be able to do some like funky rushes from like the outside on the natural and then like push it in to that cliff. But yeah, there's a lot of resources and time and effort, and yeah, that's not really worth it. Now the cannon isn't... Ooh, I don't think the cannon will actually finish up, and the 4 Zerglings will get in here. There is no wall off, so they might be able to get into the main base, but the zealot should be enough just to clean this up. And
but if those Zerglings keep turning around all the place, they are going to be able to spot whether it's like a Stargate or something else.
Yeah, absolutely. He could drop something in the wall in the natural, but there's still a possibility. Oh, Zerglings, what are they doing? Alright. Oh, 1 second. Someone's calling me. 1 second, sorry.
Alright, HuK, he had to throw down a second gateway in his wall here to make sure it was at least walled off a little bit so nothing runs in there too wild, at least later on in the game. No +1 has started, which is surprising because he had the gas for it. And... a sentry is being made now. I guess he has the gas to start a Stargate or something, but maybe he's not starting anything because he knows there is a Zergling and he's made able to spot everything.
Yeah, this is a good point. Do you think he's, he's clearly behind, so normally whenever you're behind in a standard game, like this is standard, Violet hasn't taken any risks, didn't take any damage, so HuK kind of has to, go for a pretty big risk and
Yeah.
try to capitalize on something, doesn't he?
By the way, was that
what
your
is-
mom calling you?
No, my sister. She's a pain in the butt. All right. So, what do you think he would go for? Do you think a Stargate? He does have enough gas for it.
I think he's definitely going to be throwing down extra gateways. Yeah, he throws down 2, 3. Because he sent that probe. So for me, it was quite clear at this time, since he has started +1, that he wanted to go for some gateway aggression. I mean, it's HuK we are talking about. He's the gateway man. Loves to go for those gateway aggressions.
I was just hoping, like, that's what you would expect. So you think maybe he'd try and mind game his opponent. But doesn't seem like it. 4 extra gateways, so he's going up to 5, and he is adding on the 3rd geyser in the natural. A couple of units out on the map. These pylons have not been spotted, so good placement from HuK. Not to get them picked off.
Yeah. I'm surprised. Wait, HuK he's waiting. Actually, I thought he was gonna go like with a pure attack with like units as soon as he can and go for it very, very quickly. But now, I think he's waiting for his gateways to finish to decide whether or not he wants to warp in something close. And now he's starting to warp in some zealots close by. One of these zealots will be caught alone in the middle of the map and die. Just before +1 finishes, Kanasa might have been able to do a little bit more damage. Okay, HuK, he has transformed this into a surprise attack, which viOlet seems to be ready for. He's got 5 roaches already. He's making 6 more now. And 1 probe is going to try and get into the main. Only HuK can make this happen, ever. Like, I've never seen anybody do this except HuK. Actually, he chose not to hide it.
No, it's just instantly dies. But here come the Zealots. A time up on top of the roaches can stop them being microed back. And Stalkers here are faster than them, so they can constantly kite. The Mothership Core could get picked up, but the Queen will fall just before it does. And Zerglings do come in here, go for the Stalkers straight away. But this is actually quite a lot of units, but we do have a lot of roaches. 13 exactly in the Mothership
Nice
Core.
micro by HuK, by the way, putting the Stalkers on these roaches immediately every single time he gets surrounded. Oh my god, some of these Stalkers are going to be able to escape for some time, but I think viOlet has hell here.
Yeah, absolutely. The Mothership Core is still alive, and a lot of the roaches are getting picked off here. But is it going to be cost efficient? This was a bit of a timing. He's only killed 5 workers, and he's lost 4 of his own. Was that to like the Zerglings at the beginning of the game? And
yeah, possibly. I think the scouting probe now as well. Maybe the one that proxied the pylon. He's getting +2 and blink now. A robo is gonna go down. And to be honest, HuK doesn't have that many workers right now. 15 and 18. Let's see how many he goes up to. But with the blink and +2 on the way, since he's not attempting to take a 3rd here, we could be seeing a follow-up timing. Let's see if he tries to go for the 3rd base.
He has
a
an
choice
old school
now.
build, kind of, isn't it? Without the gateway expansion. Because I'm pretty much referring to the Kiwi Kaki +2 blink obs attack, which was, I love that build, man. It's so good. But HuK is down in supply. Of course, you blink and the units that he's going for are very cost efficient. But there is a massive extent here. Against this many roaches, Zergling speed has finished up, so blink and stuff like that's not going to be as efficient in general.
It's weird. Right now, all HuK is making is a ton of pylons. 4 pylons in production, but no additional gateways. And he stopped pro production for the moment. I'm not sure why he's not making additional gates.
So he can actually lock this down and maybe have a good trade based on the force fields.
He's warping Stalkers 5x5, but I really think that HuK needs some additional gateways, at least 3, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. We do have an infestation pit as well. There's the burrow. Ooh, I like the burrow idea. Of course, he is going for an observer, so it's not going to be as worthwhile. And the road speed is about to finish up, and that's when things just start to get harder. Road speed, road Zerglings.
Yeah, roaches with some upgrades like burrow and road speed, with an infestation pit behind. Usually, a lot of the time, especially on this map, that will mean swarm host, I think. But HuK, it looks like he wants to hit the timing before this happens. He doesn't. He's only still on 6 gateways. So his production, as good as it is not that optimal on 2 bases. The thing is, he has a ton of sentry energy for force fields. He has +2 and he has blink most of all. Against pure roaches.
God, he's not even burning a proxy pylon with this. And the sentries get kind of surrounded. A few of them do get picked off there. And there's the burrow, but of course the observer is here, so it's not that much of a deal. But he cannot lose there. And a couple of decent trades here with the force fields. And this time the Queen is burrowed. There's a blink onto the high ground. He's got to get these force fields to stop them close in the distance. And those are some decent force fields, but not stopping everything surrounding his units.
Yeah, drones are being pulled right now. HuK with some nice blink stalker and micro. He's actually reinforcing from afar right now. He doesn't have any proxy pylon nearby, so he has to warp near his natural. This could have been executed a lot better, but somehow it's doing quite well right now. viOlet pulling drones now, going for a huge assault on this attack. He knows that if he holds, he's going to be in a good position. But I think he's going to lose a ton of units to do so.
And a lot of damage is being dealt here. The Blink Micro is coming out. The roaches are getting dwindled down very slowly. And of course, a lot of workers have been killed off. And HuK's arm... Okay, there's a big round of production right now for viOlet. But I think he might actually be able to take this. There's 12 army supply between them. The supplies in total are even right now. And about 28 workers have been killed off. And here comes another swarm of serpents. There is no proxy problems. There's nothing being whooped into this fight, which I feel like would make a massive difference right now.
Yeah.
So close.
With some really nice Blink Stalker Micro, HuK is saving a lot of his Stalkers here every single time. Queens were pulled as well from the hatcheries and the bases of viOlet. A lot of damage being dealt right now, and HuK, he keeps on reinforcing with more Stalkers, and he saves so many of his Stalkers with the Blink upgrade. And viOlet, he finds himself in a situation where he's actually behind on supply now for the first time in his game.
It's 8 roaches, 5 Zerglings, be 21 Stalkers right now, and you know that's a lot of damage for HuK. He does have +2 as well, so the upgrade's massively in his favor. And the Queen's nearly getting picked off.
Oh, he's gonna collapse these rocks on top of that Queen! He gets it anyway. Wow.
That was so anticlimactic.
And viOlet, he has a lot of gas behind his micro hatch. He finally finished up in his main, but he's lost all of his queens. He has to remake them. He's in a disastrous position now. He has to restart 3 queens. He has a whole bunch of gas. So I think he's gonna go for infestors, hoping that HuK would go for a follow-up attack. But HuK is going for a third base. He knows he's done a ton of damage and he's gonna play it safe.
Yeah, he's going for the Immortals as well, as we haven't got any extra tech like Hydras or anything like that. So, Roaches against Immortals, never a good fight there for the Roaches. And, HuK is in a good position. He's up by 5 supply and workers, and then he's up by 12 in army supplies. So, he is in a commanding position right now. So it's his game to lose, really. 6 Infestors are in production, and the Pathogen Glands is getting close to finishing up, so they will have that fungal available to them.
Yeah, viOlet now going into Infestors. I definitely think he was hoping that HuK would go for a follow-up attack. Otherwise, he would have gone for the Swarm Host from the start, even though he can still go for the Swarm Host. See, he's getting Enduring Locust. I think he wanted to spend his gas because he had a ton of it. He thought, well, I might as well. And now it looks like HuK wants to harass with his Stalkers, just the Stalkers plus the Observer. He has to be careful. He could get fungal out of position here. And his units are moving on the other side. Ooh.
Alright, +3 has started for HuK. There's still no... I don't even think there's Evo Chambers out in the field, so there's absolutely no upgrades for the Zerg player, and that's a big deal. The Fungals, recall can be used if needed, and he's got a Fungal. I mean recall.
Yeah, he didn't lose all that much. This could have been a lot worse. It could have been better too if he had targeted at least one more of these Infestors before recalling out, but it was very important to salvage the situation here and not lose too much. HuK, he has +3 ground attacks on the way. He's getting Immortals now, and he really has that critical mass of Stalker with which basically viOlet cannot attack right now because of it.
Yeah, especially once these, there's 3 Immortals, 4th in production, and once they get +3, that is a lot of DPS against those witches. Now, I do like the idea of going for Swarm Host because I think viOlet's, he's realized that, like, okay, I'm pretty much in a bad position right now. He has to draw out the game. He has to make it go on for a very long time so he can get back up to max and have a good fight based off that. Because, by the time they both get to max, HuK is going to probably have a very, very scary army. So he's got to whittle it down beforehand.
He's still looking to be active with his Stalkers. He's remaking one of his Observers to be able to spot those Crypt Tumors, which I'm sure he would love to remove. And viOlet, it looks like he wants to go for a siege at that base of his opponent. HuK trying to trap some of those units. He might have to take down the rocks himself. But those Locusts do not get in. Boom! Locust, what's up? You got the rock.
3 units getting killed off by rocks like a mad does. And the Stalker's on the high ground in a nice little positioning. I like that.
HuK has a lot of money actually. He needs to spend that as soon as possible to be able to defend his attack. He sends a lot of Zealots around to go for a counter attack. But actually Charge is going to finish before they arrive. So this is going to be pretty good for HuK. He's getting Colossus with Thermal Lance. And I love his position in this game. Getting a second Robo as well for more Colossus.
I think the Zealots were kind of spotted. Just one little one of them went past the Overload, but nope. Turns around with the units and they run into the center of the map.
Preparing a hot pickup as well with the War Prism. So definitely want to go for some Zealot drop in the main. Some extra Warpings.
I like it. So there are 6 Zealots up there, so you can only pick up 4. And the Zerglings headed towards the 3rd base do get cleaned up pretty easily. But of course, if these get into the main... Wait, how does he know? Oh, he must have flew over a creep tumor? Well, actually, no, the
man.
Zealots are headed towards the third, and then the Warpins are going into the main base. But we actually have an engagement. The Stalkers are on top of the Swarm host right now, and they're even getting a couple of Infestors, which are so expensive right now for... Ouch. Wow.
Yeah, they got some very important snipes there. He's going for the Swarm host again. These Locusts crushing these Stalkers. viOlet has actually broken this third base of HuK. And in the meantime, HuK hasn't been able to do any damage as viOlet had dispatched 10 of units in his bases. Well, actually, some units are going to get into the natural. The Queen needs to pull back. It is going to be saved. viOlet needs to be careful. He needs to pull back with his roaches here.
Okay, here come all the Immortals. The roaches have got to run away from that. No way can they, fight that. The Queen in the natural will get picked off. A bunch of Zealots are in the center of the map, and the War Prism still chilling in the main base, just now flying away. We have units running around everywhere. The last of the Swarm host will get picked off just outside the third base of HuK as he does retake that.
And the army supply now, 87 for viOlet, 69 for HuK, 45 walkers to 49. Some Zealots will be suicided onto these roaches. As HuK, even though he has held for now, he lost his third base, which was very important, and he didn't really do any economic damage to his opponent. viOlet is completing a Spire. I think he's going to want to go for Corruptors here to deal with this Colossus. And in this game, we don't have many Stalkers right now, because he's killed a lot of them. We don't have any Void Rays to deal with Corruptors. So HuK, he actually goes for the Templar Archives, and since he's on double Robo, he's getting a lot of Colossus out. I think if he just stabilizes from here, tries to do some little damage without committing too much, he's still going to be in a pretty okay position.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think that we could see Mutas instead? Because there's really not too much anti-air, and he's got the production to go for it, and we do see those 8 Corruptors. I would like to see a
Muta transition with 0-0 upgrades versus 3-0 Stalkers. Yeah, unless you have like 3000 gas and you go for 30 Mutas, I don't think it's almost ever good.
Yeah.
So now it was right to go for Corruptors.
Alright, so we do have 12 Swarm hosts out here. Lovely force fields come out of HuK. They're stopping the Locust doing that. War Prism does fly back into the main base, and viOlet can't spare the units to fly into the main base, but the Warpin has to come before the Corruptors do pop and go for that. And he's torn right now. The third base is getting targeted down, and that is going to get picked off, and a recall follow-up.
HuK is absolutely fearless. I would never have attacked in this situation. Thinking of just the Locust, man, I wouldn't think I'm able to attack. Look at the situation viOlet is in. No minerals left in the main, no mineral left in the natural. His third base got snapped. He can't even mine from it. He can't even remake the hatchery. So he retakes a base on the left-hand side, but this is going to take a while to go up. In the meantime, HuK, he also mined out his main and his natural, but he's fully mining from his third base. He could start working on the fourth base, and he still has a lot of probes to work with. He has a worker lead now, 49 to 37. So now HuK has extended his lead with this attack and recall. Yeah. Very nicely done.
I think it's so important to note that right now, viOlet has not gotten a single upgrade this game. It's fair enough, it's only +3 for the Protoss at 25 minutes, so you could have more upgrades. But +3 v 0-0 is still a good trade for the Protoss players, so that's really hurting viOlet there as well.
Yeah, HuK right now is assembling the perfect composition he wants to deal with this army of the Zerg player. And I would like to see him working on a fourth base, because his third base is overly saturated, and he's gonna have he's gonna be mined out on his gases in his main very soon.
He's listening to you, bro. He blinks the 2 Stalkers and goes after that Overload that is pooping at the fourth base. He has to be careful. His units are on the right hand side, above the the big gap in the center of the map, the valley, and the units are coming from the left hand side.
Oh, he's going for an attack from behind, maybe. No. He's gonna replace himself. Photon overcharge should go down.
And yeah,
actually, he's gonna look to time warp these units so maybe they can't escape. He's chasing a Mothership Core chasing Swarm hosts. Not every day you get to see that, and he's gonna catch up to them. Blink forward from HuK. These Colossus, they're gonna clear everything that's on the ground very, very quickly, including these Locusts.
Here comes the final fight. The Mothership Core will go for down first for the Protoss player. Everything on the ground gets absolutely destroyed, and viOlet doesn't even wait to see it die before he GG's. And game number 1 will go to HuK. So well played there to HuK. Especially when you looked at that, it started off a failed cannon rush.
Yeah, it started off pretty badly, I would say, for him.